Hi, welcome to our group presentation title which is Selection of Employee in Sarawak Energy Berhad. There are 5 of us. Allow me to introduce myself and my fellow friends. My name is Amy Anak Baba and my fellow friends is Izzah Zakaria binti Cik Sai, Leslie Jentang Anak Johnny, Shahno Adaha bin Shahjahan, and Siti Fazilawati binti Sulaiman. There are 7 parts inside our slide. The first part is introduction presented by Izzah. The second part is definition and importance of selection of employee presented by Siti Fazilawati. The third part is benefit of conducting selection of employee presented by Izzah. The fourth is step of selection of employee presented by Shahno. The fifth part is problem of selection of employee presented by myself. Suggestion and recommendation solution presented by Leslie. And the last part is conclusion will be presented by myself.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I'm Izzah Zakirah binti Cik Said. My student ID is 2019813112. I am from Group 4. Our assignment title is Selection of Employee, which we are using Sarawak Energy Berhad, one of the local organisation, for this assignment. My part, I will be doing the introduction of the company and also explaining the benefit of conducting selection of employee in Sarawak Energy. Hi, it's me again. Let's get started on the introduction of Sarawak Energy. Before I begin, I believe that all of you know Sarawak Energy, which is the main electricity supply in Sarawak region. Alright, this company, in short, SCB, they have a mission which they would like to achieve a sustainable growth and prosperity for Sarawak. At the same time, they would like to meet the region's need for a reliable and renewable energy. At the same time, they would like to provide electricity supply to about 3 million Sarawakian in urban and rural areas. SCB mission is also to deliver dependable, secure, and reasonably priced power built on a foundation of nearly 100 years of experience. As SCB is the main power supplier in the state, they are also known as the greatest employer of qualified Sarawak talents. SCB mission is also to deliver dependable, secure, and reasonably priced power built on a foundation of nearly 100 years of experience. As SCB is the main power supplier in the state, they are also known as the greatest employer of qualified Sarawak talents. Sarawak Energy's ongoing efforts to develop talent and create a high-performance culture was recognized with the prestigious HR Asia Best Companies to Work For in Asia Award, which they received in 2019. At the same time, SCB as employer inculcates the 5 values to the employees, which is known as Kuria. Kuria, C stand for courage, U stand for unity, R stand for respect, I stand for integrity, and A stand for accountability.
For definition, selection of employee at Sarawak Energy Berhad can be defined as the process of matching Sarawak Energy Berhad needs with people, ability, and qualification. In other words, it is the process of allocating the right individual at the right task. 3 important selection of employee. First, selection of a right person to the right job is sure to produce better quality of work and may facilitate faster achievement of Sarawak Energy Berhad objective. Second, a purpose selection system enables the Sarawak Energy Berhad to appoint talented people for a various activity, thereby leading to improved productivity and profitability of the Sarawak Energy Berhad. Third, purpose selection of candidates to reduce absenteeism. They will focus more intently on their work and voluntary implement safety measure, which will reduce the frequency of workplace accident.
Hi, it's me again, Iza. Well, I will be explaining the benefits of conducting selection of employees in Sarawak Energy. Sarawak Energy, being the primary provider of electricity in Sarawak region, selection of employees are important for them to ensure that the company is moving forward with diversity and inclusiveness to form the best service provider in the region, at the same time developing Sarawakian talent. The benefits when Sarawak Energy doing a selection of employee is that they can find a right candidate for the position they advertise. For example, in power plant, they must recruit an engineer, technical assistant, engineering assistant who is at least experienced handling work in power plant. At the same time, when they do the selection of employee, they can also developing a future leader within the company, and it will save the organization time, money, and reduce problem with absenteeism and staff turnover by choosing the best candidate for the desired role. And also the the organization will receive exceptional performance from employees by choosing the best candidates to fill up the positions with multiple knowledge, with qualification. In Sarawak Energy, they are able to diversify and retain the inclusiveness within the company when they do the selection of employee. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, so now I'll present about the steps of an employee selection process. Before the actual recruiting process, it is essential to perform a job analysis to understand precisely what an organization needs and where it needed. A job analysis will provide a clear position description which will help to extract the right talent. Once the job processing is done, you will begin receiving applications from many candidates, and this is where the selection process begins. The first steps of employee selection process is initial screening application. During the initial screening, an applicant completes an application forms and submit a resume and cover letter. Human resource will then review this information and conduct a brief screening interview of 30 minutes or less over the telephone. Secondly is the employment test. Following an initial screening, the applicant may be asked to take one or more tests to assess his or her knowledge, skills, personality, cognitive ability, and motivation. Each system composed of cognitive ability tests, a motivation test, and a personality test. These three tests then provide one score which allow you to predict the top performers from your selection candidates. The third one is the selection interview. Those who pass the initial screening are invited to face-to-face interview. The format of this type of interview varies. Some companies prefer to have all-days interview where interviewers meet with the different interviewers each hour. whereas at Sarawak Energy, rather to have candidate to meet with the key personnel, then invite them to a second meeting with the executive. This interview designed to observe the communication skills and motivation of the applicant. The applicant may be presented with a real job situation, such as dealing with disgruntled customer and asked to describe how he or she would handle the problem. Next is the verification of references. If applicant pass the selection interview, most firms examine their background. In Sarawak Energy, we also do the background check and their referrals. Today, employers review applicants' background, legal history, reason for leaving previous jobs, and even creditworthiness. Next is physical examination. A firm may require an applicant to have a medical checkup to ensure he or she is physically able to perform the job task. Usually, candidates notify the tester of the prescription of drug he or she is taking because this will show up in the results. If he or she tested positive for any drugs, it could jeopardize the chance of recruit. In Sarawak Energy, the physical examination is done by the panel doctor in HQ at Jalan Pustaka. The physical examination will be done by doctor there. Next is the final decision. The hiring manager will usually ask for feedback from human resources and other employees who interviewed the job candidates. He or she may also review his or her notes and decide which candidate is the best fit for the position.
Hi, my name is Amy Anak Bapa. I present to you problem during selection of employee. The pros of the internal hiring reduce the cost hiring. Second, shorten the process. Third, establish clear performance history. The fourth is provide career development opportunity. And the cons of the internal hiring, need to hire another role because transfer internal staff to different will vacate the previous role. And the second is impact employee morale. The competition between two employees which affect work environment. The pros of external hiring will be bringing the new skill to the company, allow company to grow, manage employee workload, diversify staff, enlarge the talent pool. And the cons of the external hiring will be increase the hiring cost, have to spending orientation and training hour along with the time effort spent interview the candidate. Second will be need longer training period. They are less familiar with the company culture and the policy to create more efficient and effective training program to pick up their job duty quickly. That's all for me.
Good morning to Madam Arenawati. My name is Leslie Jentang Anak Joni. Today, I will present to you about suggestion and recommendation for selection of employee in SCB. Is my suggestion number 1, which is to design and train on selection process that contain various forms of data collection, which is quantitative and qualitative. For example, you can design your process and weight each selections component based on your company value. And last but not least, here is my suggestion number 2, which is the interviewer should be listening at 80% of the time, which for example, if you are talking too much, you are selling the job instead of screening the candidate. My last suggestion for selection of employee is the interviewer should take candidate at their word. Interviewing candidate is for specific example and situation where the candidate has demonstrated success factor that you are looking for. Let the candidate know at the beginning of interview that your goal is to fully and specifically understand her or his capability. My second point is the recommendation for selection of employee in SEB. My first recommendation for selection in SEB is access connective ability. It is number one predictor of job performance across all employment level and industrial, such as working with number, abstract thinking, problem solving, reading comprehension, and learning agility. My second recommendation is to evaluate learning agility. Learning agility is the agility in a new situation, not know how to handle it, but they figure it out anyway. Learning agility is a crucial agility that you can measure against a true understanding of how application function and adapt in ever-evolving work environment. There are certain jobs that require applicant to possess a specific job knowledge and skill. Skills like multitasking, typing, and language comprehension can be useful across various roles and also industry.
The conclusion is the goal of the selection process is to choose the applicant who will be successful if hired and who will be best fit in the requirement of the position in the organization. A company everyday operation as well as its long-term success may be impacted by how well qualified new workers are. Making the wrong hiring decision can be reduce staff productivity, lower quality, lower customer satisfaction, and more costs. Okay, that's all from our team. Thank you.